Man, this shit don't stop. All about the money, man. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this shit seems so scripted. February 16th is the day of attack. They will make it a Union Day. That decree has already been signed as for reports of Russian troops pulling back. Ukraine's foreign minister says Russia constantly makes various statements and that he will believe it when he sees it. Just what I said. A bunch of doublethink. I don't see, like anything because, they're not reporting the whole story, you know. Um, I don't see anything, but I believe it, you know. We're at war right now. They're always trying to confuse you with language. They tell you the plans are to do one thing when there's already a plan in motion to do the opposite. What a scripted event this is for the three perpetual totalitarian states agenda. For power and the money, that's all it's about. How to keep population control in place throughout the nations through manipulation of government and state laws, as well as financial, economical manipulation, restrictions, and control to mandate the people, to manipulate financial gain for the elite and eliminate financial gain for retail, the average person. Unfortunately, war has always been profitable for the United States of America. Honestly, how can I trust government? Jake Sullivan reacts to 2016 Trump Russian report allegations. Sullivan says this could be the most direct link between Donald Trump and Moscow. It raises even more troubling questions that Russia is masterminding the hacking efforts that are directly intended to hurt Hillary Clinton's campaign. And at that time, actually, it was Jake Sullivan who was masterminding misinformation of Russian hacking efforts to derail Trump's campaign, when in fact it was actually Hillary Clinton's camp tampering with the election. And right now, today, the same man who is presently the National Security Advisor of the United States, Jake Sullivan, giving us transparent information about the situation between Russia and Ukraine, as well as what could be a false flag strategy by Russia, a pretext to start military action. You know, he says, um, he says he did not, what is it? Where am I at? I got lost. Okay, military action. Um, it's like a he say, she say, or, he did it, to point the finger, basically. Um, but reality is that we have information that we gathered through intelligence that indicates that this is uh, a possibility in regards to Russia possibly staging a false flag strategy. And also that NATO has had a chance to, um, you know, go through the information that we have, and they've come to the same conclusion that the U.S. has, which is, it's clearly a possibility that Russia could stage a false flag strategy to start a war. But, it's already confirmed reports of a school bombing, possibly, propaganda of Russia's part. But I guess all the more reason to start war if you can say that the opposition threw the first stone, place the blame on the opposition for the conflict, you know. Um, I mean, you know, there's no conflicting evidence on the bombing that it wasn't Russia. It really doesn't matter simply because Russia has declared war, and it's going to take Ukraine, you know what I mean? Problem is, in regards to government, you know, in terms of the U.S. government, you know, I want to know how am I supposed to trust the government? You know what I mean? How am I supposed to assess the credibility coming from, an individual who meddled in the election of hacking and spreading misinformation in 2016, the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, telling me what is real? You know, telling me what is real is no longer an option. Seeing is believing, showing some authority, dominance, and decisive action against foreign and domestic threats to keep our foreign threats, from crossing over the borders into the country. First objective is to keep the U.S. of A. safe. You can't help anyone else if you can't help yourself. The United States of America has no business worrying about foreign affairs and trying to keep house around the nations when here in the U.S. of A. house isn't in order. We should be showing, you know, our dominance. We should be shoring up our war fronts and deploying military troops and enforcements for our international lands, for our international borders, with the two nations, the Canadian United States border to the north of the United States and the east of Alaska, and most importantly, the Mexico border between the U.S. and Mexico to the south. We should be strategically preparing for war here at home. So then, if we do need